Police chase, crash, and manhunt. The Wauwatosa neighborhood shut down tonight while officers searched for a suspect. Don't eat the romaine, an urgent warning from the CDC. And tonight, investigators closing in on the source of an E. coli outbreak. And let the bargains begin. The late-night shoppers spending their Thanksgiving filling up on holiday deals. It is a cold but quiet night for those shoppers, but travelers need to be ready for the potential for the snow this weekend. And Mark, we know you're keeping your eye specifically on Sunday.
And because I know it's only Thursday here, but this storm has the potential to cause some travel trouble for a big and wide area. More on that potential winter storm coming up in Weather Watch 12.
All right, Mark, thank you. Now to our big story, a police chase, crash, and manhunt in Wauwatosa. That chase ended near 63rd and Wright. Police say a suspect took off into the dark neighborhood and is still on the loose tonight. Ben Hutchison joining us live tonight. And Ben, officers searched the area for hours.
Derek, no luck.
Right now, the late-night shoppers are cashing in on early Black Friday deals. Here is a live look inside the Target store in West Allis. One store that always sees big crowds on Thanksgiving is Best Buy. Plenty of bargain hunters broke through the doors at 5 o'clock. We talked with a few shoppers about their game plan.
We got in line pretty early, so we got the stuff we were planning on to get, like these TVs. And I would just say plan ahead. Definitely plan ahead.
We got everything we wanted, in and out. Okay. Had a plan. Divide and conquer.
But you're ready to spend some money?
Some money.
Not all of it.
Not all of it, but most of it.
Besides Best Buy and Target, other stores open tonight, including Walmart, Meijer, Kohl's, Dick's Sporting Goods, as well as JCPenney. Mayfair and Southridge malls are also open. Multiple cars damaged after a crash at a Cudahy car dealer. The driver crashed into several vehicles on the lot near Pennsylvania and Layton. The witnesses who sent these pictures to 12 News said a truck bounced off a curb, took out a stoplight, and crashed into 4 cars yesterday. No word, though, yet if anyone was hurt or what led to this crash. In Greenfield, police are looking for the person responsible for a gas station smash and grab. It happened shortly after 2 o'clock this morning at the Speedway on Loomis and Howard. Police say a car crashed into the front doors and someone stole cigarettes and then drove off. You can see the shattered glass scattered all over the parking lot. New revelations tonight about Foxconn this week. The company is reportedly planning to cut costs by $3 billion next year and lay off thousands of workers. As Kent Wainscott reports, that's raising new questions tonight about Foxconn's multi-billion-dollar commitment to Wisconsin.
Foxconn's commitment to Wisconsin is the biggest in history, $10 billion. UISN 12 News.
And Foxconn officials sent us this statement, quote, Foxconn's commitment to creating 13,000 jobs with an average salary of nearly $54,000 and invest $10 billion in the development of the Wisconsin Valley Science and Technology Park remains unchanged. New clues tonight in the search for the source of that contaminated romaine lettuce. The Food and Drug Administration says the E. coli outbreak likely came from California. The FDA also believes it's similar to an outbreak last year, which left 1 person dead and made at least 25 people sick. The 2017 outbreak traced to leafy greens, but not romaine lettuce specifically. On Tuesday, the FDA urged people not to eat any romaine lettuce until further notice. Now to those devastating wildfires in California. Rain hitting the region right now is proving to be a blessing and a curse. While it's helping firefighters gain ground on battling the flames, it's also hampering the search for remains. The so-called campfire started 2 weeks ago today. 84 people are dead and more than 500 still missing in what is the deadliest wildfire in California history. A special Thanksgiving dinner for the thousands affected by those wildfires. In Northern California, Good Samaritans and support organizations worked all week to prepare thousands of Thanksgiving meals. Volunteers chopped, mixed, and cooked up warm dinners for evacuees of devastated communities like Paradise.
I think it's really important to help your community, and I actually have cousins that lost their home in Paradise, so I thought it was important to come and give back.
In Southern California, families with children who lost homes got care packages and gift bags made by other children in a show of support. Back here in Milwaukee, a free Thanksgiving meal inside a heated tent. As Caroline Reinwald explains, community leaders on the city's north side worked for weeks to make it all possible.
Everyone welcome is the main theme here in 12 News.
A Thanksgiving tradition returned in Racine today. This is Dan and Ray's Rendering Thanks meal. Dan Johnson and Ray Stuybeck started the annual feast 9 years ago, and today they, along with 300 volunteers, put on a spread for people from all walks of life.
We'll get a table of 10 people, and 2 of them might be a retired couple that are very wealthy, sit next to maybe somebody that's homeless.
This year, they served up 134 turkeys, along with all the fixings. And for many, Thanksgiving means a day off to spend with family. But for first responders, the work for them never stops. To say thanks for all they do, the Milwaukee Bucks served up a hot meal for dozens of firefighters at Fiserv Forum.
They do a lot, so much for our community, and just to keep us protected, that they're away from their families and friends and loved ones. And this is just a small token of what we can do to show our appreciation.
It's nice that somebody kind of extends the thoughtfulness of giving us some meals that we can take back to the firehouse, but not just that everybody behind us is also working, just as we are on Thanksgiving.
Firefighters from 31 local firehouses enjoyed the free meal. Hiring for the holidays, the challenge businesses are facing in finding seasonal help, and what's the blame? Also stuck between 2 buildings, 5 stories up, the uncomfortable obstacles crews had to overcome to get this guy out. Plus, our special correspondent George Millay introduces you to Milwaukee's dog whisperer.
Okay, so here I am at City Hall with a pack of dogs.
You're going to meet the man who knows how to get your dog on its 85. A police chase ended badly after the suspect was hit by his own car. Check out this video on your screen. Police in Oregon responded to reports of a man stealing items from parked cars. And when they found the suspect, he led authorities on a high-speed chase. But it ended when he bailed out and got pinned under his own vehicle still moving. Officers eventually freed the suspect who had a broken leg. He is now facing several charges tonight. And with holiday shopping in full swing, businesses across the country are looking for seasonal workers. But are they finding the temporary employees they need? Aixa Diaz explains why the strong economy is posing a hiring challenge.
It's the time of year when retail need to hire seasonal workers. In Washington, I'm Aixa Diaz.
Economists say some stores got ahead of the game by hiring their seasonal workers back in the summer. Meanwhile, furniture giant IKEA is laying off thousands of employees. The company says about 7,500 employees will lose their jobs. That's about 5% of its global workforce. The cuts are going to be coming in the administrative and support sectors. IKEA said fewer than 75 jobs will be eliminated here in the U.S. Officials say they will be shifting towards smaller stores and more online shopping. IKEA opened its first Wisconsin store back in May. A heads up for smokers. Starting today, you will see new warning messages on your pack of cigarettes. Tobacco brands must now put court-ordered corrective statements on their packaging. Those statements will specify the harmful effects of smoking. This follows through on a 2006 federal ruling that the tobacco industry was violating civil racketeering laws. An estimated 3.5 million people braved the cold in New York City to watch the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The wind stayed calm enough for all 16 giant balloons to fly. Nearly 8,000 performers participated in the parade, which ends at Macy's flagship store on 34th Street. And a local band helped celebrate Thanksgiving in another state. The Muskego High School Band marched in a parade in Philadelphia this morning. They were playing Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. The band director sent us these pictures of the students along the route. This is the largest crowd the band has ever performed for. A holiday tradition kicks off tomorrow night in West Dallas. It's Candy Cane Lane. You can drive past the festive homes in West Dallas between 92nd and 96th Streets and Oklahoma and Montana Avenues. The event is free, but you are encouraged to make donations to the MAC Fund. It runs through December 26th. We checked it out tonight. A few of the homes had their lights already on, but the full display will be going up tomorrow.
You got to see that.
I do. It'll be my first one. A lot of firsts here for me this year.
There's an amazing array of different animals that are lit. There's like dinosaurs. There's the whole gamut.
And how long does it take you to get through?
It'll take you a while because as you weave through about 6 blocks, 7 blocks or so.
Not bad.
And it's an amazing number of people that have done this for so many years. It's a big deal.
Dedicated.
It's a lot of money. Absolutely.
All right. How are we looking tonight?
Well, we're still chilly, but it's not as bad as it's been, and it's windy. That's a problem. You want to put up the deck decorations for tomorrow. It is going to be warmer, but it is going to be breezy. 38 degrees, though. That is our high for the day. Our temperatures aren't falling. They're actually holding steady as we work our way through the night. South-southeasterly winds right now at 16 miles per hour. It has been a cold November. This was our 16th day in a row with temperatures below parts of next week. So our eyes are all focused in. The Weather Watch 12 team, we're all watching how this is going to play out. At this point, there's still way too much uncertainty for us to throw up any numbers.
While we wait for that, we'll just enjoy the bit of a warm-up tomorrow.
I have to get the lawn done, so that is tomorrow's project before I come back to work.
I'll do the shopping for you then.
I appreciate that.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Well, a holiday scam warning, how to protect your personal information when you shop, and the one specific thing every shopper needs to know before hitting the Black Friday sales. And the Badgers heating up in the Bahamas. Stephen Watson has their dominant shooting performance next in sports.
Direction has been because I haven't had that 1,000-yard season, so hopefully that should help quiet some of that down. But other than that, it'll just be another game.
A must win on Sunday night to keep pace with the Bears, who won this afternoon. They improved to 8-3 on this season. We'll have highlights from all three games today coming up later in sports.
Like this.
Yeah, it's a must win.
They got that way all season.
Yeah.
All right, exactly. Stephen, thank you very much. We'll talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. How first responders rescued a man who ended up stuck between two buildings.
I wasn't really trying to think about, like, am I going to die? I was just trying to survive in the moment.
And a shark attack survivor speaks out what he remembers about that moment a great white sunk its teeth into his arm.
Gruber Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks.
Leading the way with important local coverage. You're watching WISN 12 News at 10.
And there are no weather worries tonight, but Mark, a much different story before the holiday weekend is done.
Yeah, and you know, Derek, I wish there were times that I could just reach out to the audience and say, I know exactly what this storm was going to do. I don't. There's still way too many things that are going to change before this does arrive. But here's the main thing that I want you to focus in on, that we do have the possibility of a substantial storm, and that could impact travel on Sunday. The models are trending this to the south. That doesn't mean that will continue. The timing still would be Sunday and possibly all the way into Monday morning. Snow accumulation is possible. This is on Sunday, not for tomorrow. If you're out shopping, look at these temperatures warming up into the 40s, getting above average for the first time in more than 2 weeks. The one caveat for tomorrow, it will be windy, so happy shopping, everyone.
All right, Mark. Well, multiple cars damaged after a crash at a Cudahy car dealer. A driver crashed into several cars on that lot. 12 News' Caroline Reinwald shows us the aftermath.
Well, take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars all damaged here at Ewald's Ford dealership in Cudahy. You can see all of this damage here on this one. She completely smashed into all 4 of them. Now, a viewer sent us a message saying they watched her bound. WISN 12 News.
Prosecutors charged 2 Milwaukee men in connection to the murder of a 13-year-old girl. Isaac Barnes and Untrell Oden are in the county jail accused in the shooting death of Sandra Parks. Police say Barnes fired into Parks' home at 13th and Hopkins Monday night. A bullet hit the girl as she was watching TV in her bedroom. According to the criminal complaint, officers found the 2 men hiding in a house a few blocks away. Now to those wildfires out west as the death toll is continuing to rise. At least 84 people now dead. More than 13,000 families homeless this Thanksgiving after a pair of wildfires leveled communities across the state. ABC's Natalie Brunell reports volunteers tried to give families a happy holiday despite the destruction.
Tens of thousands of...
An American missionary killed by a tribe on a remote island. Officials say 27-year-old John Chow paid a group of fishermen to take him to the island off the coast of India. The small tribe that lives there is deeply suspicious of outsiders, and authorities say they attack anyone who comes near them. For that reason, people are not allowed to go within 5 miles of that island. Officials say they're currently in the process of recovering Chow's body. President Donald Trump today threatened to shut down the border between the United States and Mexico.
If we find that it's uncontrollable, Josh, if we find that it gets to a level where we are going to lose control or where people are going to start getting hurt, we will close entry into the country for a period of time until we can get it under control.
To the entire border?
The whole border. I mean the whole border. We're going to either have a border or we're not. And when they lose control of the border on the Mexico side, we just close the border.
The president also said he has given U.S. troops at the border authority to use lethal force if they must.
I hope they don't have to. But, you know, you're dealing with a minimum of 500 serious criminals. So I'm not going to let the military be taken advantage of. I have no choice. Do I want that to happen? Absolutely not. But you're dealing with rough people.
The president made the threat after wrapping up a phone call with troops overseas. He then visited a Coast Guard station in Riviera Beach, Florida. The president and his family are spending the holiday at his resort in Palm Beach. House Republicans subpoenaed former FBI Director James Comey and former Attorney General Loretta Lynch. They want to talk to the two as part of a Republican investigation into whether the FBI has been fair to the president. Comey responded on Twitter by saying he's happy to answer questions in a public forum, but he opposes a closed-door deposition. Lynch, though, has not commented publicly. Imagine coming face-to-face with a great white shark. Tonight, we're hearing from a 13-year-old boy who survived a shark attack. Keen Hayes says he still does not know how he managed to swim 70 yards to a kayak with a broken and torn-up shoulder. This actually happened a couple of months ago in San Diego. Hayes was catching lobster when the shark attacked.
I just feel like something tackles me, and it just kind of keeps me there for a second, just pushes me. My wetsuit's been ripped, and like blood is starting to go into the water, so I just start screaming for help, shark, help.
Keen spent days in the hospital. Now he's back home, no longer wearing a sling, but he is still healing. And this Thanksgiving Day also marks a tragic day in U.S. history. It was 55 years ago today President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Shortly after noon on this day in 1963, shots were fired at the president's car in downtown Dallas. Bullets hit his head and neck. Police named Lee Harvey Oswald as the assassin, although many believed others were involved. Dallas nightclub owner Jack Ruby shot and killed Oswald just 2 days later. The oldest military survivor, that is, of the attack on Pearl Harbor has died. Ray Chavez was 106 years old. His daughter says her father died in his sleep today. Chavez went to Washington back in May, and President Donald Trump honored him during Memorial Day. Thousands of military members are spending the Thanksgiving away from their families, so they're sending special messages to everyone back home.
I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Hooah. I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but I can't wait to be back home.
Love you guys. See you soon.
Mwah. Bye-bye.
President Trump visited a Florida Coast Guard station after making a public phone call to thank service members for their sacrifice.
Today we thank God for the blessings of having you people be our heroes, and you really are our heroes.
Here in Milwaukee, a free Thanksgiving feast. Two men from Racine continued their tradition of feeding thousands. 12 News' Eden Checkle takes us to the 9th annual Dan and Ray's Rendering Thanks meal.
A feast